Hi guys, I hope you are all doing well. Let's see today's question. So today's question we are taking this up from the topic of statistics. And if I talk about the question here that is given to us, the question tells us that mu be the mean and sigma be the standard deviation of a distribution. And distribution it's given to us as xi, means my terms are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And they have told us the frequency distribution fi for that, which is given to us. It's in terms of k. And if I write down the frequencies I have been given, k plus 2, 2k, k square minus 1, k square minus 1 again, k square plus 1, and the last is k minus 3. So these are the frequencies given to us for the terms from 0 to 5. And the question tells us that the summation of these all frequencies is 62. The question is asking us to figure out that if square bracket x denotes that it is the greatest integer function, which basically means it has the greatest integer which is less than or equal to x. Then we have to figure out the value for an expression which is given to us, which says mu square plus sigma square. That basically means you have to find the square of the mean and square of standard deviation. And if I talk about the answer choices that we have been given here, the options are 9, 8, 6, and 7. So we need to figure out which one of the answer choices is the correct answer for this question that is given to us. So let's try to solve the question first. First thing is, let's try to evaluate the frequency distribution correctly. So for that, we need to find this value of k. And we have been told that the summation of all these frequencies is 62. So if I find the sum of all the frequencies I get from here, k plus 2 plus 2k plus k square minus 1 plus k square minus 1 plus k square plus 1 plus k minus 3 is equals to 62. So I've added all the frequencies I had, k plus 2, 2k, k square minus 1 2 times, k square plus 1 and k minus 3. So I've added all of them. Now let's try to solve this to get the value of k. So k square, k square, k square gives me 3k square. K plus 2k, so 3k and plus k, so 4k. 2 minus 1, so that makes it 0. And 1 minus 3, so minus 3 equals 62. So that 62 also, if I bring it here, 1 minus 3 is minus 2, not minus 3. So minus 2 is equals to 62. So from here I get 3k square plus 4k. Minus 2 and minus 62 makes it minus 64 is equals to 0. Now let's try to solve this. So we need two such numbers such that the product of them would become minus 64 times 3, which is minus 192, whereas the sum of that two numbers would make it 4. So let's try to find the two numbers. First of all, the product is negative, means one number should be positive, the other should be negative. And because the sum of that is positive 4, the greater number should be positive and the smaller number should be negative. So greater is more positive, smaller or the lower number is negative. Now, I want 192. So if I try various combinations, 192 I can split as 64 times 3. 64 also I can try to find that as 16 times 4. So if I use that, yes, I got the numbers. So one is 16 and the other is 4 times 3, which is 12. So plus 16 and minus 12 gives me plus 4 also, and plus 16 and minus 12 will give me minus 192 also. So I get 3k square plus 16k minus 12k minus 64 equals 0. From the first two, I can take out only k commons, not 3 common. So I will be left with 3k plus 16. From here, I can take out 4 common, so 3k plus 16 again. So that leaves me with 3k plus 16 and k minus 4 equals 0. So if I equate both of them with 0, I get 3k plus 16 equals 0. k minus 4 equals 0. This leaves me with k being 4, and this gives me k as 3k as minus 16, so k becomes negative 16 over 3. So I have gotten two values for k. One is negative 16 over 3 and the other is plus 4. But see, if I put k as negative 16 over 3 in this frequency table, 2 times minus 16 over 3 will make it minus 32 over 3, and frequencies is nothing but number of times the terms are repeating. So it cannot be a negative thing. So k as minus 16 over 3 is not possible. So that's rejected. And that leaves me with only one value of k, and that's 4. Now, once I have gotten k as 4, I'll write down my frequency distribution again. So xi goes from 0 to 5, and functions frequency, if I see that for x values, I have k plus 2, so 4 plus 2, which is 6. Then I have 2k, so 4 plus 2 is 6. Then I have 2k, so 2 times 4, which is 8. Then I have k square minus 1 and k square minus 1 2 times. So 4 square minus 1, 4 square minus 1, so 15. 16 minus 1, 15. And here I get 16 plus 1, so 17. So I get here 15. 15 and here 17, and the last one says k minus 3, so 4 minus 3, which is just 1. So that's my frequency table. Now the question talks about some mean and standard deviation. So if I see mean and standard deviation, I want to basically find the square of mean and square of standard deviation. So if you see this question, actually, if you understand it very well, you will understand that you actually don't need to find the mean of this distribution at all. Why is that? Let's see that. Let's understand. So we know mean is basically given by summation of fi xi over summation of fi. And standard deviation, if I see, it's given by square root of variance, where variance, if I see, it's also resembled as sigma square or standard deviation squared. That's basically given by summation of fi xi square over summation of fi minus summation of fi xi over summation of fi the whole square, which is nothing. This is nothing but your mean only, right? So from here I can just write this as summation fi xi square over summation of fi minus this is mu square. So from here, if you guys understand, what I have to basically figure out is, if I try to evaluate this further, this thing, if I try to write it, sigma square is this. Now, if I take minus mu square on this other side, this would also make it plus mu square. And once I get plus mu square, I have to just figure out summation of fi xi square over summation of fi. So I don't need to find mu. I don't need to find mean. So we have to basically find the greatest integer function of this whole thing, this expression of mu square plus sigma square. But first we'll just figure out this value, and then we'll find the greatest integer function of that. So first thing what we have to figure out is only this much. So for that, we don't need the mean because I want to figure out the answer for this whole expression. So I need summation of fi, means I need the total of this. So if I find the total of this, how much is that going to be? 6 plus 8, 14. 14 plus 15 is 29. 29 plus 15 is 34, and 44. 44 plus 17. So that will make it 44 plus 7 is 51. And this is 61 plus 162. Actually, we don't need to even figure out the 62 because that was directly given in the question to us, that summation of fi is already 62. Now, once we have that, I just need to figure out summation of fi xi square. So if I find the square of xi first, so let's find the square of all the terms of xi. So 0 square, which is 0, 1 square 1, 2 squared 4, 3 squared 9, 4 squared 16, 5 squared 25. And if I find summation of fi xi square, for that I need to multiply fi and xi square. So if I multiply this to 6 times 0 is 0, 8 times 1 is 8. 15 times 4 is 60. 15 times 9 is 135. 17 times 16. So 17 times 10 is 170 and 17 times 6 is 102. So that leaves me with 272. Then 1 times 25, which is just 25. I want to find summation, means I want to find sum of all of these terms. Let's add them all. So if I try to add them all, adding units place gives me 8, 513 plus 215 plus 520. So I get from here 20. 2 carried for the tens place, 2 plus 6, 8, 8 plus 3, 11, 11 plus 7, 18, 18 plus 2, 20 again. So 2 carried again. For the hundreds place, I have only two numbers, so 2 plus 1, 3, 3 plus 2, 5. So I get 5. So I get this as 500. The summation of fi xi square is 500. Summation of fi is 62. So I get sum of the variance, which is basically this entire sigma square, plus the sum of means squared. This part is mean. So you're basically finding square of the mean. The total is 500 over 62. And if I try to convert it into a decimal form, I get this as 62, 500. So 62, I think 8 times it would go. So 8 2s is 16, 186 is 48, 49, 496, 62 times 8 is 496, which is 40, 62 times 0, 0, 400, then 62 times 7 or no 6, 6 2 is 12, 1, 372. Yep, so 7 times or 6 times it's 372. So 28. So we basically get 8.06, something like that. But the question is not asking me to figure out the value for this. Question is asking me to figure out the greatest integer function's value for this expression. So basically I have to figure out the value for this. And we know greatest integer function means you take the value which is just less than or equals to this, but an integer answer. So that would be just 8. So I get the answer to the question, and that basically matches with option B. So B becomes the correct answer for this question that is given to us here. I hope you have understood how to solve this type of questions, which deals with the ideas of using the concepts of mean and standard deviation. So first we used the idea of summation of frequency being 62 to get me the value of k. Once I got the value of k, I just found the summation of fi xi square, dividing it by summation of fi gave me the direct value of this entire expression asked to us. And then we just applied the concept of greatest integer function. So my answer becomes 8, which matches with the answer choice B. So B becomes the correct answer for this question. I'll see you again tomorrow with some other question from some other topic. And we are going to continue our series of questions on JEE mains. So stay tuned for more videos to roll out. Also, if you're enjoying these videos that we are doing on everyday basis, please do like the videos as well and do subscribe to my channel and share this channel with your friends also who are involved in the preparation of questions on JEE, so they can also take the benefit from these questions that we are solving. Thank you.